I'm Shea.
And I'm Shealyn. I don't know why I have to do creepy voice. You know the worst part of me coming home? I got this mask the other day and I wore it upstairs because I'm visiting my parents to see my little brother. And he goes, Shea, that just looks like your face. And he's not completely wrong. It kind of does resemble my face. So now I hate this mask. And now I have the weird blonde hairs all over it. But, you know, whatever.
I love it. I love it.
Little shit.
So today we're doing Trick or Treat. I have not ever heard of this movie until Shaylin was like, we should do Trick or Treat. And I'm like, what is that crap? Like, okay, fine. And I was pleasantly surprised, actually. I watched it and I was ready for some crappy ass B movie, but it was really good. I was like, oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's this is the weird part. I think of it as a recent scary movie, and it's not, right? It's like 2007 or something.
So it's not that long ago.
That's long. That's like,
okay,
what? I can't
like,
do math.
what?
14 years.
Okay, I guess, whatever.
Right?
I figure, whatever.
No, but I'm the same way. I literally was like, oh, this movie just came out. No. I was graduating college at that time, so it's been a while. But that being said, I think it's a really well done kind of, you said it great. What did you say? Like a creep show?
Pulp Fiction meets creep show.
Yeah. So I love it for that reason. I like when there's a bunch of different stories and then where they all tie in at the end, but not like obviously tie in, you know, like you kind of have to be paying attention and see the characters come about throughout the film. So I really like it. I think it's something you can leave on in the background while you're like making Halloween cookies and stuff, and you know.
I don't know about that. I feel like you kind of if you've never seen it before, you do need to pay a little bit of attention. No. I'm saying like a little lost.
No, I'm saying watch it once and then it's like
okay, and then yeah.
Although the fact that I find it like I think I told you, I said, oh, it's cute, and then I'm like, no, it's not fucking cute. Like I can't. I really shouldn't say it's a cute movie because it's not. There's things that happen in it, bad things and murder. But it opens with the scene of somebody who's anti-Halloween.
Dude, she deserves to die. Whatever.
Yes. So right away, I thought, okay, I'm gonna like this movie because it's, you know, clearly made for people like myself and you who love Halloween, love scary movies. Because I don't know why people think they have to tell other people how much they hate horror movies. Like nobody cares. I like them, so keep it to yourself. I'm not gonna force you to watch them. But people are so adamant, like, oh, they suck. And I'm like, no, actually, they don't. So with something like this opening, killing that hag while her dude is up watching porn is so great.
We fell asleep watching porn. That's how great porn it was. But
well, she was supposed to come and reenact it with him, you know, do a little role play.
First of all, let's understand this. Why? I had so many questions about certain. I didn't have so many questions for the whole movie, just about certain characters.
Okay.
Like her. Okay, yes. You hate Halloween, fine. Your boyfriend or husband clearly made you dress up as a massive robot in a handmade costume. Whatever. Okay, fine. Let's say you're playing along because you're married and you love him. Whatever. But why is your house so decorated?
I know, that's so pretty extreme. I assumed he did it, being the big fan.
Okay, so you don't have to like clean up or tear down everything.
That night.
Like,
people, well, I think that was
first of all, why did you go, I'm totally okay, I'm going to clean over have sex? Like, where are your priorities?
Yeah, well, she says, like, her mom's coming the next day and going to be mad or something, which who cares? Like, you know, I love my mom, but she knows I'm a weirdo and, like, would let me have Halloween decor. And, okay, there's still trick-or-treaters out. It wasn't even late. Like, that's what he told, that's why she dies, is because she blows out the jack-o'-lantern, and so that, you know, the trick-or-treat,
whatever it was,
Sam, he sees her, and obviously he's like, she doesn't respect the rules, now she has to die. And so I think her just going and cleaning up, and yes, like you're saying, it's it looked great to me, but even I don't
it was cool,
that crazy. I mean, for the effect of the film, but also like, you can clean up tomorrow, like it should still be there. Halloween night in films, it doesn't end at midnight. It goes until the sunrise. Like that's usually the rule. Even though in my head, when they're like, oh, we just have to survive Halloween night, I'm like, okay, so at midnight you're safe, right? No, they mean till sunrise the next day. So she's gonna ruin it for all the kids walking around. But I think that just goes to show like how much she should die, is because how terrible. She wanted to tear it down right away.
Crappy person anyways, but whatever. Like, it was sad. Like, when I watched her and now I was like, oh, she's dead. I was like,
no one was sad.
You can find someone better. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, she's really hot. I think her name's Leslie Bibb. She's incredibly gorgeous.
She's
but
in like Talladega Night. I was watching her going, I know you. Where do I know you from? And I had to go to her IMDb, and I'm like, I'm like, it has to be Talladega Night. Yeah,
she's the hot wife in Talladega Nights. Yeah, so she's great, but she needed to die right away, right in the beginning, just to show.
Just get that out of the way. I don't want to deal with her character for the rest of the movie. Get her out of there.
To show that Sam is not messing around, and
right.
Then it goes into
it's a whole loop. Like, we started at the end, such as Pulp Fiction. You start at the end and you work your way backwards. But I did like at the beginning, it tells you, oh, it's 4 stories, and I was like, oh, it's like, so I went, Creep Show. So it's like Creep Show. Okay, you're gonna tell me 4 different stories. Cool. But I didn't realize they were so intertwined with each other, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I feel like you would understand them without knowing they're all related. Like, they still all make sense.
Right.
They stand alone, but like in the end, when you find out that guy is the bus driver, like the very end, the old man,
and you're just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, that's why.
I mean, the only thing that kind of is a little bit like, okay, there's a couple of things. One is Sam.
Yeah.
Why? Where are you from? Like, what is going on? You're just this weird Halloween demon? I don't.
I think they explain that in there, or is he? Yeah, because he's not one of the kids, right?
He's not one of the kids, because all of those kids show up and kill the bus driver at the very end. And I was like, oh, because at first I was like, oh, he's a bus driver. That explains it. This must be one of the kids. And then he's like, not, right? He's clearly a demon. They're punching him underneath that thing. But he took his candy. He was like, oh, I just wanted candy. And he leaves. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, don't we all just want candy? I mean, wouldn't that kind of get you to leave every once in a while if, like, you're going to murder someone?
Be a candy bar, I'd probably be like, okay, I'm out. See you later.
And then he was giving like lame ass candy. The bus driver, wasn't he giving lame, like, I forget what candy he was, but I remember those houses.
He wasn't giving anything. He was like, yeah, he's like the Scrooge of Halloween.
And then he comes out and his house is decorated, which I'd be like, thank you, that's awesome. But he hates Halloween, so he was not pleased. People in my neighborhood, they would be dropped off in vans, and everyone would have like pillowcases. Like, people didn't mess around. And there would be like an adult with a baby, and I'm like, okay, dude, like, because early on I chose to just like dress up and stay home and be the person to hand out candy and hang out with my boyfriend, and watch scary movies. And I would see a lot of like, I think there's a cutoff age for trick-or-treating. What do you think? What do you think that age is?
Yes and no. I'm a little debating. I'm debating on that one.
I mean, adults
aren't allowed. Halloween.
That would be an interesting experiment. I'm just gonna walk up to people's houses this year with no kid. Just see. They'll probably think I'm like a stripper or something.
I want to know.
I want you to go trick-or-treating on your bike, dressed as the Wicked Witch. That would be my dream.
I'm gonna come by your house on my bike. Be like, I'm gonna have a radio that plays that song.
Please do.
So you should
dress, I guess.
Oh, I should just dress up as what?
I was gonna say the kid, but no, that thing's scary. That little sack.
It is very frightening. Like, he's cute right there, but then he just takes his
You're saying this is
cute. Comes off.
This is
cute.
It
kind of is cute. It's kind of cute.
What is wrong with you? That is. I mean, I guess it's not as scary as when he takes it
off.
I'm
gonna send you a doll now. He's kind of cute.
And it will be a voodoo doll, because that's what that looks like a scary ass. Anyway,
back to. But it's kind of cute. It is kind of cute. Whatever, it's fine. I might dress up like that. I think I've got some burlap. That's an easy costume. I can do it. Burlap.
But back to the movie. Give me some facts about this movie. I hope you did your research.
I don't really have a lot of facts, but I did recognize some other people besides the lady that we hate at the beginning. There's Dylan Baker. He's a character actor. And I've seen him in a dozen movies that I cannot name right now. But he's Mr. Wilkins or whatever. He's the weird murderer guy that lives next door who's raising a psychopath. I don't even understand like why. I mean, just because you didn't like the kid, but you killed someone else because he's in the grave. I don't even understand.
He killed the kid. That's the kid from Bad Santa.
He killed someone else before that because there was another body when he threw that body in there. And I was just like, what? Are you on like a spree? What is going on?
They're in a small town. There's nothing else to do.
Carving this kid's head. Human. I don't even. A human. How about the eyes? And like, I'm like.
Yeah, I mean that kid's doomed because there's no. Yeah, I mean kids are like small versions of their parents, so that one is going to be a psycho. I mean,
it makes sense, but it's still like, why? But why?
I think you're missing. You're missing that in horror movies, you can't expect them to make sense all the time. Like,
I know.
I mean, that's the beauty of it, is because like you can't be watching something and be like, oh, well, this person's safe. Like, it's supposed to just be like, that's when they do the big jump scare in any movie.
Yeah, right. And then whatever, like Mr. Wilkins gives the kid causes his insides to like explode or something.
I know.
It's like
a Clark's bar.
Gross.
Because that's the lesson. Always check your candy, you know?
Right. What's he checking for? Ingredients? You check it for razor blades. What?
No, go ahead. I'm saying, what are your other questions about this movie?
Oh, yeah. So, like, well, other than, like, why is Dylan Baker a killer for whatever reason? But I know him also from the movie Delirious with John Candy. Do you remember this movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
so
good.
Now, anytime I don't know what about this movie. It's a comedy. Okay, it's not a horror film.
Yeah.
But his character for me was so traumatizing that anytime I see him in a movie, that's the only thing I see is I see that character. Because in that movie with Delirious, John Candy is like in his writer's, soap opera fairy tale where he can type in and write anything he wants, and it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was doing that, and I guess to this character, Dylan Baker's character, weird things like his hair starts falling out, his teeth start falling out, just like weird things happening to him.
Ooh,
and I can't take that vision out of my head. And he doesn't know why things are happening to him, but he seems okay with it.
Yeah.
Like he runs his hand through his hair, big clumps are falling out. He's like, oh, that's not good.
Oh no.
And his teeth are just falling out, and I'm just like,
the teeth thing always gets me.
So like,
do you ever have dreams about your teeth falling out?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
It has some meaning. I think it means you're gonna get rich.
I don't know about that.
Rich yet.
No.
Just let me live.
I think when you have these weird dreams, it's usually your subconscious, like you're stressed about something or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it forces anything. And then there's Anna Paquin, who's in this movie.
Yes, she's
True
great.
Blood.
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of other movies. Yes.
Theirs was an interesting little plot twist.
Yes, I really did like that. I didn't see that coming.
And so you understand the joke of her being Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
Of her Halloween costume. So that was very interesting. And then Steve Wilkins, who apparently got a thing for killing people and couldn't resist. If you just stayed home after the kid, you killed somebody, killed 2 people that night, fucking take a break.
It's one night, but maybe it's like his purge night. Like it's his one night that he goes, like all year long, he's not doing this stuff.
You ran into a pack of she-wolves.
He was distracted by their chi-chis, and then he didn't know they were shape-shifting werewolves. Yeah, I mean,
never trust a girl in the woods by herself. I'm just gonna say.
And then it's a really extreme, like hot, like sexy transformation scene. Where they go into the world.
Like, the way they turn into
starts
wolves,
hot. I think it starts like because they're all dancing and they're in their like slutty Halloween
like
costumes.
A coven of some sort, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cute, that's sexy, and then they start growing hair and like.
Maybe I'm just into bestiality. That's my thing. That I thought it was hot.
That is.
She got on top of him pretty hot.
Yes, and she's like, I'm so glad that you're my first or whatever, and I'm like,
yeah. Worst.
Okay, why? Did you know him? She feels good about it because he attacked her, so she's like,
yeah,
I'm totally okay with killing you and eating you.
Exactly, because remember she was having she was a little hesitant to be a murderous werewolf.
Right.
And so that made it easier that he was a dick. You know,
right. And what have we
makes
learned from
total
this movie? Don't be a dick.
I mean, that's
That's what
most
we
horror
learned.
movies. I know.
Like the kids that were collecting pumpkins for UNICEF.
What did they do? What?
The teenagers or whatever.
Oh yeah, but then they were
kids.
doing. I thought you meant in real life. I was like, what happened? I didn't hear about it. Oh, I was like, oh my gosh.
They were collecting pumpkins for UNICEF, and I was like, what does UNICEF need pumpkins for? They're gonna go bad. Like, what are you doing? And so they're collecting jack-o'-lanterns, and they needed 8 because of the bus story. One for every. I guess they're trying to bring the children back to life, or
no, they wanted to scare that one girl. Yeah, they wanted to scare the
Which I love that she just walked away. That they were like, she's cool.
No, at the end, like she leaves them down there to.
She does, but Sam is there in the woods and he sees her, and they just look at each other, and then they go separate ways.
Well, because he knew her struggle, and so he's like, she deserves to live. She's a good person. That's usually the whole, horror movie message. Like we're saying, don't be a dick. If you're a good person, you might live. Maybe somebody just wants to kill you anyway, but for the most part, you'll get a pass to go away.
Something like that. But I like that the bus driver and Mr. Wilkins were next door neighbors, but they like hated each other, yelling at each other over the fence. Yeah, and then it comes back full circle to where that one lady dies, Emma or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Is that her name? She looks like an Emma
in the movie. But I also like, this is why I kind of compared it to Pulp Fiction in this way, is they're not obviously, like it's not an obvious way of how they're kind of all connected. It's just like they all kind of live in this town. They all kind of run into each other at this big block party or parade or
carnival
whatever.
or something. Yeah.
Carnival thing, yeah. And then, or Mr. Wilkins and the bus driver and next door neighbors, and like just like little things like that you're like, oh, I see small little connections, and it's not overly obvious.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I like that. I like it.
Yeah. No,
so
I
actually thought this was a good one. I really liked it.
How many suckers do you give it? We're gonna measure in these suckers.
Okay, we're gonna measure the suckers. Got it. Okay, so
the Sam
I would
sucker.
give 5 out of 5, honestly.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, for what it is, I would say pretty strong, but I'm gonna still say 4.
I know.
I don't know why I say,
but
not real. I just like 5 out of 5 should be something that, like, Scream gets 5 out of 5. It's my only 5 out of 5 ever. Just kidding.
I know, but 5 out of 5. You're like, this is the only 5 out of 5.
Jaws and Scream. Beautiful. Before we end, I'm going to show my sweatshirt. Can you see what it's like?
I just want to eat pizza and watch horror movies. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was a word in the pizza part.
Yeah, whatever. I did what I could.
I like it. Well,
on that
follow
note,
us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Get notifications when we post these every week. So that way you can find out what we're doing next week of Halloween. Have you been doing your Halloween House Challenge?
I don't want to talk about it. All right. Till next time.
Bye. I guess yours, yeah.
You put them on top of your lashes, right?
I did, yeah. Where else will I put them?
I have no idea.
Them on top of my